Colors of joy can be found through the thought of you. I'll be troubled and puzzled and scorned by your love till I
Alright guys, so welcome. I'm gonna be talking about the three poems that I chose. One that's Cold District by Carlomar Dawana. Second is Jose Rizal Considers the Mud Lobster by Rodrigo de la Peña Jr. And lastly, Why I Wear Shades by Simeon Dumdum Jr. So, from the pool of all the Palanca winners throughout the years, there wasn't really a criteria to why I chose each and their own poem submissions, but mainly, they say never judge the book by its cover, but hypocritical of me, I actually glanced on the title and then just see what their catalog comprises of, and in a nutshell, that was my choices for each of the submissions throughout the years from all the poems. But when I delve deeper into each of their submissions, that's when it gets a little bit more in depth. So, to begin with, first of all, let's go with Cold District by Carlomar Dawana. So, right off the bat, we can obviously tell that it's far more contemporary in writing compared to the other two, which could, be less indication of their respective time periods, although these are latter submissions. But you're gonna be hearing words like cell phone thrown in the mix. So, at the very least, it could give you a good glimpse on the era that it's trying to depict. So, with the first stanza, it's about, first of all, it's about someone from his or her motherland moving into Europe to look for a better opportunity. However you take opportunity, it could be you want a new life, you just want to make more money, or the idea that the grass is greener on the other side. So just take that with a grain of salt, whichever narrative you want to go with. The first stanza is about being in awe. I mean, you're in a totally new environment and you can't help but not be in awe because the buildings are different, the surroundings are different, the people are different. All the things that you would just go in the left ear, go out the right ear, whatever in your everyday life, whenever you stroll to cityscapes or suburban or even the rural areas, it hits different when you're elsewhere because while it checks the boxes of familiarity with what you see, it just looks totally different. It feels different. You don't feel like you're within the confines of your own motherland, and he or she in the first stanza is just being within the moment of trying to let it sink in that, oh my, I'm actually here and things are different. So it's more of getting the feel for the place. Second one is more about the idea of unlimited possibilities. Okay, so you got the part where you're being in awe out of the way, so you're gonna be thinking to yourself, what am I here for? And what is my purpose of actually getting out of a place that I'm comfortable being in and trying something new. So it could be, finding work there, living in a greener pasture, as I said earlier, or the mix of both. Might slip into an updated outfit of self. It's like saying you still who you are, but it's a new chapter in your life, and you're gonna take all the necessary accommodations you could to better prepare yourself for such, because moving elsewhere is a really big thing, and possibilities, like what I said, are unlimited, and you just gotta think that how will I be here in the short term, in the long term, and that's what the second stanza of Cold District is depicting. Third stanza is all about being observant. It is very detailed in terms of description with the environment that this said person is. Shop windows, telephone booths. I mean, locally, telephone booths are already obsolete, and you're not gonna catch any of them at all if you could even find one to begin with, especially past the 2010s. And now that we're in 2022, they become more of a relic. And if you were to spot one, they're just a novelty of a display in a very retro diner. That's the best bet of catching one in the Philippines. But somewhere in Europe, I'm very sure that there are still places that you can find them, and that's one of the things that stands out or sticks like a sore thumb and becoming irrelevant by the use of cell phone. Like what I said, this one is more contemporary because the name drop of cell phone depicts that it's within modern times, because payphones are a novelty at this point. If there are for the countries that still does carry them, I mean, if you already got a phone right in your pocket, why would you stick nickels or quarters just to make a phone call? And besides, in worse comes to worse and push comes to shove, there's always gonna be people walking around who has cell phones. But okay, we're already starting to get off topic, so into the last verse. The last verse is more of being enculturated into your new home. His arms would garter and take a hit, which means I am full invested in you. Cold District, the hope of Europe. It's like, okay, I'm here. I've already seen what I've seen, felt what I have to feel, and it's establishing that I'm ready. I'm gonna be a part of it. I have my identity, yes, but I'm gonna be a new person right here in this new home of mine. I'm gonna start from scratch. I'm gonna be doing things even differently from what I used to do back home. And in the latter part, you've handed me myself, scrub free of distinction. You're basically gonna have a new mold of yourself in this foreign land, and you're gonna probably take things differently, or you're just going to make a name for yourself in whatever way, shape, or form. So this is my take on Cold District. And next up, we're gonna tackle Jose Rizal considers the mud lobster. Jose Rizal considers the mud lobster. This one is by Rodrigo de la Peña Jr. And this was the submission from the year 2017. So my take on this is more about protection, and also kind of being like an outcast, because I confessed I've always mistaken hunger as a need for love and the need for love. And in the latter part, it also mentioned that being an aberrant species name smeared with sludge. So it's like the character, first of all, everything is portrayed in the eyes of a mud lobster. There's no personification at all involved here. As we speak, it's all animals who are used as references for the message that the author is trying to get across. And that part where being an aberrant species is trying to break the status quo, basically. And you're not one of the sheeples who just go along with what is socially acceptable, but you're being defiant and you're protecting those that tries to do things differently, where the others might seek shelter. Calm spiders and clams, calm snakes and bird and ants, to be endangered and still have pushed and pushed the world, shape the soil to create a fortress. The door is open. So everyone takes difference differently, for the lack of better term, but it does speaks in volume that it was portrayed in a non-personified form, because it's calling out all the other animals that could be that are endangered. The way I see endangered are the ones who are targeted in the society, that no matter what the world throws at you, you should still do you in the end of the day. That you shouldn't try and blend in. You should be at peace with yourself. The door is open. You should be at peace with yourself. That you're, if they're laughing at you for different, you should be laughing at them that they're all the same. They're just a carbon copy of, basically like people in the Matrix kind of carbon copy. They just go on with whatever they're doing in a succession of patterns that repeat itself over the weekdays, and it's telling you that you just have to break free. You can be your own individual. Alright, lastly, we're gonna talk about Why I Wear Shades by Simeon Doom Doom Jr. So, to begin, it mentions about sunglasses, shades. And obviously, we all wear it for different reasons. Primarily to protect your eyes from the sunlight. I mean, sunglasses is called the way it is for a reason. And other times, there are more introspective, complex ways why people wear shades to begin with. While it's just stock knowledge that in the daytime, you wear it to protect, there's a certain feeling of comfort from people that, you know, at the very least, glances at you or even stares, but you just feel like that there's a security blanket over your face whenever you do wear sunglasses, and that separation, even like a few millimeters, does play a big role mentally. So it goes with the same theme, security blanket, talking about how the eyes knows what's up and how it has this instinct to protect itself from debris or anything that's gonna be like fast approaching. Like, you're gonna flinch for sure if, you know, anything comes your way in terms of your eyesight. I mean your eyes. So basically, it's like the person using inanimate objects through shades, or at least the debris as we speak about, has to safeguard him or herself with what is going on in the world, because these are obstacles. And in the latter part, nothing in fact will close the fluttering eyelid faster than the inexorable dream of rain. And how what good can sunglasses protect you in the rain? So basically it's saying that there are things that are inevitable. Some things that'll be thrown at you that you couldn't handle from the get-go and would be a hindrance in your life. So it's more about how you would make yourself comfortable to deal with such situations and not to be beating around the bush, basically. So, as simple as the premise of wearing shades to protect yourself from debris and irritants, it goes a long ways to depict that in this life there are things that are going to be out of your control. And with those things out of your control, it's how you brace yourself in those moments and how you actually prepare for it. So that's it for today. I'm Patrick Espana, and I thank you for listening to all the 2 cents I had for the 3 poems from whom each respective poets won from the Palanca Awards. And with that, happy holidays and peace!